looking for a pen quickly. Ready for class. I must admit, I really enjoyed the season of Heru. It is very hard to let go of it.
I know.
Oh my God, I had to have a conversation with myself where I was like, no, remember this happens every year.
Yeah.
So, there's a time and a place for everything.
Let me share this quickly as well. Everything.
Hey.
Okay, nobody's here yet. Yes, I just want to share this as well on my space.
Oh, yes. Even me, let me share. Because this one kind of caught us in the middle of. It caught us a little bit
like
unexpected.
Mamiya, that was really a dope space you're hosting there. I hope you
Dude,
saved
dude. I just wish, I wish I could be in 100 places at one time. Yes. So
I know. Ziakwela, no, clearly the season was good for you.
And all the content is so interesting. That's the thing.
Right?
It's so damn interesting, the whole thing. But anyways, they'll find us. We are within. Okay, no, here the other children are here. Hi guys. Hello to the babies. Greetings. Thanks for joining. We were just saying how difficult it is to let go of the season of I Am King.
That's right.
Yo. Hey. These sessions are really so helpful, Gogo. Thank you so much for taking the time to educate us. So let me not waste any of our time. What's my thing? Spangini, babe. So we're going from it's the 23rd of.
So 23rd of. So I'm gonna do that now. I just wanna greet. We don't just go in people's houses.
Oh, sorry. Let me hand
Yeah,
over
we need
to
to
you.
greet. Yeah, let us greet first. Okay, I don't know what that comment means. But yes, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much, Queen, for your space yet again. But I speak too fast, so I'm gonna try to slow down a little bit because it's the content that's too much. And then if I'm just flying through it, a little bit. But Togozani, greetings over the diaspora, Sanbonani. Yes, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. So please just drop any questions you might have with our session here because we do know that the content tends to be a little bit too much. So I hope it is concise enough for us to be able to take it forward with the season. But Queen, thank you so much for your space. And those who are not covered by the load shedding, thank you for being here as well. So this is another knowledge sharing session. I'm not a teacher. I'm just we are sharing knowledge here. We're sharing what we are, I guess, privileged to be to know, I guess. So I think while we are still waiting for other children, let us get into the period that is happening now. So I really like it when our calendar coincides nicely, like with the full moon and everything. So we're gonna be going into a full moon now on the 24th of February. So we're gonna be on this planet here. We'll be experiencing the full moon, and this full moon is occurring now in Virgo. So it's a full moon in Virgo that we're gonna be experiencing now. So what does this mean for us now? Hi guys. So what does this mean for us? So full moon in Virgo, basically, the Virgo energy itself. This is governed by the planet of Mercury, right? So the prominent planet that's governing this planet, Mercury, but that is not to be confused with the Jehuti season that we come from in December or November, December there. So do not be confused by that. So with the Tehuti communication, how Mercury would show up then is in the communication, sign a deal, a contract, so something that was always external to us. So, but now this full moon that is happening now, it is calling upon us to have the internal conversations now. Now we're communicating on the internal scale, the things that we said, we are elevating now in the season of Heru. Yeah, we're just speaking with Queen here. It was actually quite a dope season, the season of Heru, the Ascension season. And we spoke about how Heru season is helping us now to go into ascension, into this higher consciousness that we're saying we're looking for, into this God self of ours, right? So now with the Virgo season, now it's questioning the stuff that you said, well, okay, I'm ascending to this now. Now it's okay, the things that you're saying are very important to you. Are you keeping your word to that? Are you accountable to the things that you're saying that, okay, this is what I deem as important for me? Am I making time for that? Am I making space for that? Am I really working on the things that are going to be carrying me forward? So it's internal conversations that are happening with yourself, but also this is now the processing that is happening now. So this is the full moon now that is happening on the 24th. So regular preparation with the full moon, we know if you're a chakra head, take out your crystals, start recharging. So I do a 3 days before and a 3 days after situation. But people who deal with these situations, your chakra hands and your astrologists, astronomers, so they would say, the energy, is prominent 5 days before, 5 days after. So I do 3 because that is my grounding number. So so take out your crystals, and we know with the full moon always, that is when we are now completing the intentions that we set by the new moon. This is a period where we're discarding stuff that is no longer serving us, but it's not no longer serving us now in the period that we're going into now, because everything that happens to us or for us is happening, it is actually serving us, whether it's a negative experience or a positive experience, it is still serving you in that way. So so full moon is basically a period of completion and all of that. So take out your crystals, whether you're gonna go to the waters and go cleanse or whatever it is, but just get into the habit of having some sort of a new moon, full moon rituals that you do, because it's not just the sun and the mercuries and the what we need to give reverence to, but in order now to readjust, we still need to attend to the divine feminine, so she's got her own healing properties and whatever it is. And there's people who cover such things in greater aspects. So even if you go out and have a conversation with the moon, but just go and recollect yourself. I think people are here now. I think we can go now into our lesson of today. So as usual, we start with the things that align us with the season that we're entering in now. So please also share how the Heru season was for you guys. What amazing things happened. So for me it was quite dope, even though towards the end there, because the new moon was coming up, but I think there was just enough stability, to see it through. And it's one of my favorite seasons. Like I'm saying, I missed wearing my favorite Heru outfit. But anyway, so the season, Gabe, which is the season that we're going into now. And on the regular, the misaligned zodiacs, we say now the people that are born now in the season is in a Pisces season, but actually it's not. It's the Virgo season for us down here in the southern hemisphere. So remember, with this calendar that we're doing, those who are new here, we do the African calendar here. With the calendar that we're doing here, we're basically tracking the movement of the sun and the cosmos in relation to us, how it affects us. So for the longest, we've just been like misaligned in a way, because it's Pisces season there in the north, but it's actually a Virgo season now. So that is what the season is also calling upon us for. Okay, the things that you say matter to you, now get into organization. The things that you said, Heru, I'm ascending with these things. Now you're putting these things into the permanency, because now we're going with this energy for quite a while now. Okay, so the things that align us. So the season occurs now from the 23rd of February up until the 23rd of March. So this is gonna coincide with the next season, with the next great phenomena that's happening, where we're actually getting into autumn, and we're gonna be speaking on the autumn equinox when we get to that point. So we are now in the last season now. So this quarter, so it's the second quarter. So it's the last season now before we're gonna get into our hibernation period, right? So that is the period. And we say 23 to the 23 because on the time that we're existing in, our day, so the time, the clocks that we're using, they say the day starts at 12. But in logic terms, the day cannot start in the middle of the night, right? So we say it starts at 23 and it ends on the previous season ends on the 23rd, and then the season starts on the 23rd because the day starts at sunrise. Yeah, for those who are new here. Yeah, we just need to wrap those ones. And then also with the dates, we choosing those ones for consistency because we see obviously things of the West that are low vibrational. Yeah, we sort of trying to readjust to what the system says we are doing. But if we're to go with the cosmos, we definitely go on what the energy is dictating. So we're using 23 to the 23 for consistency's sake. But yeah, you see with other people, astrologers, they would denote today as a beginning or yesterday as a beginning of a new season, you know. So that is the period. Candies countdown because there's 8 of them. Then the color of the season is brown. So brown color, those who work with energy, those who work with colors. So you know color ya brown is that stable color, is a very grounding color. When you're doing, I think yes, actually Queen Tiggy had an episode now with the color of candles, right? So I don't know if she touched on brown, but yeah, those who work with with colors and energy and vibrations of colors. So you know it's a very stabilizing color. It's a very grounding and it's so earthy. It's so, you know, it's not zen of the blue waters, but it's a calming color, you know. And I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember Bo Stone Cherry, yeah, Bo Kensani, you know. So you can also see she's such a grounded person. The brand itself, it's so brown, it's so earthy. You see the people that work on the land as well. Color to wear, besides wanting to get or not wanting to get dirty, color that they wear would be the brown, these earthy colors, the brown colors. So and then the metal is bronze. Yeah, the season. So bronze does not exist as like a natural element. So it's an alloy. So you won't find it go periodic table. Okay, this is the element of bronze. So bronze is actually a combination of tin as well as copper. So for copper, we know a Ronabo, more iron deficient. We know we wear a lot of these copper bracelets. And with that, you can also tell your health. You know, when it's dull, you know, okay, I need to be paying attention to this. When it's shiny, I know I need to be paying attention to that. So copper assists us with a flow of blood in us now. And then tin as an element, it helps us with if you're doing work of abundance and prosperity, you can incorporate tin in that, and also for spiritual balancing as well. So the people that made the bronze, they combine those two, and you see also with a lot of ancient statues as well. You'd see they would be fashioned after the bronze as well. So if you go, yeah, if you're interested in history that way, you see that the statues are made from this bronze. And then the incense is patchouli. So patchouli, it's also another readily available one. So if you go like to the Eastern shops or wherever you get your incense or these crystal shops and whatnot. So it's an easily available one. It smells very dope. So get yourself a patchouli. Some people say it's an aphrodisiac as well, but other people use it for spell work pertaining to manifesting of money, because you see on the box it's green as well. And then we covered, then the stone. Yes, the stone for the chakra hands. I hope Gogo Tuli is here. Maybe she can also input there. So the stone for the season is an amber stone. I was trying to look here, but yeah, my stones that I have here, it is a tree. So the amber stone is a shade of like a yellow and an orange. So when we're going now into so it's a mixture. So it looks, if you've seen a citrine stone, it's almost like that, but it's not. So it's an amber stone. If you Google, you'd see what it looks like. So it's got a merger of yellow and a merger of like orange. So when we're looking at the chakra chart, so the chakra chart itself would denote to the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, right? And this is going to tie nicely to what we're going to be speaking about. So, what chakra hands? Yeah, please, yeah, back me up on this one. But from the sacral chakra, or where Yom Dao resides, or whatever it is. We also touched on this a little bit about 4 seasons back when we were on the Heteru season. The sacral chakra is a point where you create from as well, you know, not just offspring creation, but your creativity also lives there. So that is why I always also mention that sort of balance in a way. And I think with the solar places, we spoke on it the last season, hero season, where your decision making, where you're unsure about things, you need to strengthen those things. So you can strengthen the bottom 3 ones, but I'm touching on these 2 ones because the amber stone, you use it for that work. If you're doing work with the sacral chakra and that one, and because it's a grounding aspect, we're gonna speak about it now. Cape season in Ayarona. And then we have our scent, which is olive. I know olive also it featured in the last season as well. And then the tree is a Persia tree. So now the Persia tree, when you're looking into ancient texts or spiritual texts and whatnot, or if you're searching, if you Google like Kemet or you're getting into your awakening, so a lot of us would be where you see the as above, so as below. That's tree of life situation that happens. So that is where the tree of life would be fashioned from, and people that in ancient times would be working at this tree. So it would be what it would represent life. It would also represent fertility, right? And I know when we're thinking fertility, we usually think, okay, female and whatnot. So not necessarily, and it's gonna marry into the content we'll be speaking about today in regards to Gabe, right? And yeah, I know whenever we're thinking fertility and the divine feminine, we always we have birthed a lot of things in our cultures and traditions. We're always looking at fertility from a goddess point of view, but also the masculine is quite involved as well in fertility on that. So Persia tree of life, it's a very spiritual plant as well. It's a very healing tree as well. I don't know how readily available it is, but yeah, so those are then the animals, the last one. The animals that align us with the season. So with the animals, we look at the characteristics of the animals or how they if you are a dreamer, like okay, if I'm dreaming or if I'm seeing this thing or I'm bumping into this thing. So the animals that are involved is the goose. So with Gabe himself, okay, we'll get into that now when we go into Gabe. So it's the goose, it's the lizard, it's the mongoose, and it's the duck. So the representation Gabe, you would see at times there'd be a man who's carrying like a duck or a goose on top of his head. If you've seen ancient Egypt or ancient Kemet when they're speaking about gods, right? So those are the 8 things that align us with those seasons. And remember, that's just not for your altar or your sacred place where you connect, but you are also a living altar as well. So you can adorn yourself with these elements. Some of them, you don't have to carry trees around, but you can adorn yourself or have it on your altar as well when you're connecting. And then, so those are the things that align us with the season. So let us now get into who Gabe is. So as I mentioned that the people by the season, okay, we'd call ourselves the Pisces people, right? And with a lot of Pisces characteristics. So there's a lot of mystical things about us. We believe in magic. We live in La La Land a lot. There's a lot of magic. There's a lot of a divinity that you want to tap into. You'd find a lot of the hippies are like this or whatever it is. So with that element, the mystery and the whatnot. So we're gonna bring it back now when we're speaking about Gabe. So Gabe is a principal himself. So Gabe, he personifies the natural powers that have made this harvest from the spiritual work that we're doing now, Kahiru season, to be available in the physical now. So when we look at the creation story that we spoke about as well, I'm glad actually you did it at that moment. I think it's easier now to talk about some of the things here. So we started again with the world of the waters, and then Togozani, let's see. So it starts with the world of waters, then went to the fire, and then the third and the physical phase. Now this was Rostal, or the plane, the physical, the tangible stuff where we get to experience that, right? So when we're going back now to a creation story and how Gabe features now in the story, because Miss Bega Umpashawake, which is something I'll probably do on my channel, because we need to be cognizant of time. We're gonna do that. We'll look into Umpashawake, we'll look into what is Gabe actually all about? And in terms of Umpasho, because Limi Pasho and the hymns that are dedicated to that They also denote, okay, characteristic, yeah, this person is wrong. And also, I think a lot of people are like, okay, this content is delicious, but yeah, how do I put it into practice? How do I work with the deity per se? So we'll do that. Yeah, we just have an hour here, and I see you in 20 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna try, yeah, rush, but not speak too fast. Okay, so Gabe himself, he's the creator of the organic life, right? So this tangible life here. So we move now from the waters, and when we remember creation, again we said now from the waters emerged Adum. From Adum now went through the process, yeah, purification through the fire, the world of the fire, and then after that the cooling effect, where the mountains would now be formed and all of that, which is now representation. Yeah, Gabe. So there's a part where it says, yeah.
Gogo, please continue. I just need to close my windows. Please continue.
Okay. Or the bags, no worries. So
Yes.
so so you greet now this deity in front of the stone of Ben Ben. So ngiyavusela kuwe Gepi phambi kwe. Yeah, they don't use iliche, but I will use iliche just for ease and understanding. But you go towards this deity and you say part of Ben Ben. So Ben Ben, now this is that remnant that came from the creation story, that molds that got left behind that creation, what we would now call Uadumra. Now we trace it back again because it's part of the Inyad. So Inyad would denote 9, yeah, would denote 9 of the gods now in this phase of creation, third phase of creation. So at the top there is Atumra. Atumra now gives birth to Ushu, which is the god of the air or the principle of the air. Do you wanna doom something perhaps?
Sorry, no, sorry, I didn't mean to distract you. Hey, good piece, yes, sorry, continue.
Yeah, so then will be birthed the god of the air, which is Ushu, and then the god of moisture, which is Tefnut. So from that, then comes Ugep Linut. So that is why they would refer to Ugep as Idlozi Lagdala, or in ancient texts they would say this is the grandfather of the ancients. You know, this is now the ancestral godfather of or ancestral grandfather. Yeah, so other texts refer to Geb as a grandfather Geb instead of a god Walefati. And then other people was referring to the mystical and the magic and the whatnot. So they would say Ugeb umthakathi omkhulu as well. So from Geb, also well at Geb and Nut, right? So Geb and Nut were born. And with Geb and Nut, now I just want to speak a little bit on them as well. So Geb and Nut, so they're consorts. Yes, I forgot to mention the things that align us with the season. If you're looking for a muntus, your perfect match is a newt, which you would know as Virgo, but it's actually Pisces in our calendar. So the Virgo people, that would be your perfect match. But also with caution, because those are like soul relationships, and you know the pain that comes with soul relationships as well. You know, so but that is your perfect person. So Geplin Newt now in the mythology, they wouldn't be separated. They were like this, you know, they were so close, everything. And now, because of them unable to separate, now creation cannot take place. We need creation, we need Ma'at to be acting now so that creation can take place. So, great grandfather Ra tried separating Geb and Nut, but so grandfather Ra now had to call upon Ushu in order for them to be separated. So that is why when you see, yeah, I like mentioning this one. Yeah, please forgive me, flat ethers and spherical ethers, ne? But yeah, for context, content, yeah, Rona. So you'd see how the shape of the world is in a dome effect, right? So we have the sky on top here, which the flat earthers would call the firmament in the heavens, right? And then we have at the basis here, okay. And when you see these texts, when you search Geb and Nut, you would see or ancient Kemet, Geb and Nut. You would see now there's a man lying there at the bottom, and it's one of the few deities where it's not represented. The deity doesn't have an animal as their face, right? But they're just carrying the animal on top of their head. So there's a man there lying on the bottom, which is now this ground that we're on, the land that I want us, yeah, I hope we have enough time to actually touch on a little bit. Yeah, lefatshe, umhlaba wethu. So that is that bottom part. And then the sky part, that would be ugoddess Nut, right? And now delving into the mythology a little bit as well. So they'd say, Guti, the tears of Geb, because now they had to be separated, Nut And in that separation, Gabe would be crying for Nutwachake. So that would be where the oceans would be developed, right? So the flooding, yeah, that, and the inundation of the Nile would be from the tears that, okay, Gabli Newt now needed to separate. But Gab and Newt not separating, there was no possibility of life to happen. So we needed now the space here, that we needed Shu Litef Newt to act. We needed the vegetation to happen, which is now the function, yeah, Gab Yaruna. But we're gonna go into the function on its own here. And then now I want us to go back to no, before we go to the fertility Achache, I want us to also speak on the offspring that Gable Newt. So from that, so it's a doom, shoot of Newt, Gab Newt, and then from that now forms do you know this kid? So now forms U Asa or Set, and then Neptet Set, and then other texts they include Uheru the Elder. We spoke about Heru the Elder in the past season that we just come from. So those are and we spoke about the extra 5 days that made 365 days of a year. So these are the offspring that Gepli Nut. And when you're looking at text, it says now Ugep bestows the birthright of his children. And whenever there's conflicts that would happen, now Gabe would need to step in order to resolve that. So what is that speaking towards as well? So we're going now into the principle, yeah, Gabe Waruna. So Gabe, the principle of Gabe is actually creation, right? So hence attached now on the sacral chakra, hence attached on what else did I touch on? But yeah, so Gabe is the one now that fabricates the human form, so everything that we see here, everything that we're saying for, okay, this is God here. This was now fashioned by Gabe. So Gabe now takes everything from the spiritual and the presence, the physical form now that is existing is Gabe only responsible of that. And now also Gabe is also the patron of judges and the mediators, right? So in other texts, they would say that Gabe would be now also part of the judging team on the afterlife, where the judge of the soul, yes, that's the word that would refer to him, the judge of the soul, right? And but this speaks to how Gabe now can mediate, and in this time now, because of the principle, yeah, Gabe Warona, Gabe now also assists in family disputes or relationship disputes or friendship, whatever disputes that are happening, so that whichever the people that are in this conflict now, they can reach a resolution now that is favorable to everybody. It's not just for that one. So you call upon, when you're working with this deity now, like the Americans say, when you're working with this deity, you call upon this deity in order for conflict resolution. You call upon this as well. Yes, I want to go back to the mystical part, the Pisces part of it. So Geb also is a healer. So you'd notice that a lot of people from the season as well, a lot of them are in a healing space, or a lot of people would find maybe just even like healing in the form of talking. I find comfort, or yo, Gogo, I just need to talk, whatever. You'd find yourself, and so you call upon this energy here when you're looking for that. And also because it's a healer, you call upon this for physical ailments, or just to realignment in the physical form now. So now we're not dealing there, we are now in this physical phase. So you call upon the spirit, yeah, Gabe, for that. And then for the people that work with their hands, so the artisans, the people that work in creating stuff. So the energy that is prevalent right now is in support of all those things. So right now, body artisans and people that work with their hands and whatnot, this is your time to rise and shine. It's your time to shine, because success is absolutely guaranteed. And this season also, a lot of themes that you'd see is your business plans, anything that is involving building, anything that is involving a restoration of some sort, anything that is involving work that you do to manifest now things into the physical. So you tapping from the realm of spirit, and then now you're bringing it back. Now you're manifesting whatever it was that was in the physical, in order for it to manifest now in the physical form. So I hope it's gonna be a season like that for you guys, because yeah, we know, okay, the mind is also part of the cosmic body, or the spiritual body. But then now everything that we're manifesting now is manifest in this time, yeah, Gabe, because Gabe is the creator of the physical life. So also Gabe, because he knows Dala as well. Oh yeah, sorry. The one thing I forgot, still on the spiritual part of it. So Gabe is also a what's this? Is involved in so because he birthed Oset, right? So they bati another scholar uthi abogebhe abathakathi abakhulu, right? So you can literally say things, you can say things and things manifest easier for us because we forever in our mystical world and whatever it is, right? And then so mebathi abathakathi abakhulu, excuse me, abathakathi abakhulu, they mean that you have that power to manifest just from your mouth, you know. And with with my personal story here, so my friend says, "Ay Gogi, wena unomlomo mubi," meaning that whatever that I speak would come to fruition in a way, you know. I just need to channel it nicely, I guess now, you know. Ukuthi I'm able to now manifest it for the good stuff. So anyway, so that is because Ubethile Oset also responsible for the haircut that is bestowed go Oset Wagagu. But yeah, this one we'll have to trace it. Yeah, when we have I don't know, longer episodes or whatever it is. But anyway, so let us go now into the more into Gabe, right? So Gabe now represents the stability that we see. And I think when we spoke of the things that align us with the season, we spoke a lot on stability and grounding and finding balance. So I don't know what transitions you guys are experiencing right now, you know, but if your emotions are all over the place, if your thoughts are all over the place, you know, just get those things, either your stone or whatever it is, because the energy is supporting it right now. Okay, this is this balance that you're seeking. It's gonna occur now in the season. And when we're looking again at the dome effect, yeah, Gepli mood. So because now in the heavens, there's always like changes that are happening, you know, whether it's rainy, there's the moon, so everything. So okay, provides the stability for Newt themselves, for Newt herself, right? So you'd see also in relation in real life now, in relation. So somebody born in the season and probably dating somebody you are called the Virgo season. So in that part in the relationship would probably be providing that stability. But it's denoting too, because now in the heavens there where Nut resides, there's always like changes that are happening. And it's the season of acting like what 21. Okay, we'll go to questions towards the end. I think let me just wrap up now, just be cognizant of the time. But yeah, so that is the principle, yeah, provide a stability now, go part of the earth, that dome effect, yeah, the earth. And then now going back to the fertility part, yeah, Gabe. So I know I know the like I was saying earlier on, okay, when we're thinking fertility, we're always thinking, no, the goddesses. But now, Ugeb now is providing fertility in forms of what is now coming from the earth. So it's not fertility in terms of us, the humans, right? But he's a virile entity in a way of which, you know, there's fertility happening in nature. So whether vegetation is popping up or plants are popping up, whatever it is, but this season is a season, yeah, harvest. And yeah, before we get into the harvest a bit, I want us to go also to the Bantu elements of it, or the our native tongues that we speak here. So the month in Bariki Nhlolanja, right, in the Nguni language. So now you'd see a lot of dogs are in heat, and yeah, I was unfortunate enough, yeah, to witness that thing. So that's the actual word, yeah, the February season that we're transitioning from. Oh no, it's yeah, excuse my pronunciation, they can correct more, but it's Intlolanja. Yeah, so Unentlolo Yezinja now, and yeah, the dogs are in heat right now. And then when we go to the Sesotho side of things, the Sesotho side of things, Hlakola, eh. So now the sorghum is ready and the cob is seditwile. But yeah, the Sotho people, if you're here, maybe you guys can explain it better. But this is just to highlight again that we don't just name things, we don't just do things in J in as a people, you know, there's always a reason why. Okay, why is this thing named after this thing? Why is this thing occurring like this? So that was just a little FYI here. So back to okay, so he's a fertility god in a way of team. vegetation is happening. And in other representations of Gape, you would see there'd be like the blue color or the green color. So the blue would denote now to that water element I was speaking about. And then the green color would denote the vegetation and the trees and everything else. And then, so in this season, the powers of Gape, they can manifest these divine ideas that we've been carrying, whether you've been carrying them from the new year when we started, or now from the Heru season when you're trying to ascend into your God self or whatever it is, and it brings it now into material reality. So it is also for I did say earlier on, for mending relationships, getting over the conflict resolution that serves everybody. And then we have the function, yeah, Gape. So the principle, who is Gape, that is creation, and then the function, how does Gape operate now? So Gape operates, the function at Gape is vegetation. So this nectar is responsible for the harvest that we are seeing and ensures that there's a continued and continuous supply of this harvest, whether in your home life, in your business life, in the things that we said in the beginning, Jorge, the things that matter to you. Now we're gonna be watering and nurturing the things that are saying, we're saying that we are serious about these things, and the energy of Gebche provides us with that ability now. Okay, this is gonna, that's what I'm saying, Hore. Gap season is gonna be a season that needs to carry us now up until we end our year, but there's gonna be obviously other elements that are gonna be coming into play. And then also we spoke about the artisans, those who work with their hands. This is your time, guys. Please rise and shine in the season ena ya rona. And then what else did I not cover of renewal? There's so much negativity being cleansed in my space to make way for new blessings or harvest. Oh yes, actually speaking now of the season, Gep Linu. So yeah, those who missed it, so Gep is the god of the earth, Umhlaba, Lefati, those who missed it in the beginning. But so God of the earth. And now, the last time we spoke about the age of Aquarius, somebody was asking, okay, no, why do we say the age of Aquarius and whatnot? So this is a conversation I was having with a friend of mine, which, okay, and he was, I was like, okay, Gogo, konje manje singena in an Aquarius season, right? And the season is we are so that was the age of Pisces. If you guys remember, if you guys were involved in those things, or you date the earth, whatever. So that was the age of Pisces. And when we thinking for the age of Pisces is actually the gap season, that was when abantu bebathengeka blind. There was like everything that was of the flesh was thriving a lot in the age of Pisces. And then when we get into the age of Aquarius, which is the age that we're in now, besides the knowledge, besides the everything, but somebody asked on the last live that we had, who's okay, will truths be revealed in the season? And with the work that you're doing, we're not Queen right now, we're seeing there's so many revelations that are happening. There's so much truth that is unveiled. We're not literally just going on no sekunjalo. And then when we think now for okay, age of Aquarius, neliko iko Heru season. So so those are the little FYIs that shows good to know. Actually, our calendar, it's alive, and it's actually relatable when you actually sort of grasp the little concepts. So we are done with the flesh self. People who are not bribable, not bribable. Some people don't have a price right now. You can offer them, which okay, no, umhlaba, sell me your land and this, but people like are staying now in the Aquarian age, which angithengeki mina, whatever money you had. It's like that last stage they go Titanic, where people, they're trying to offer people money on a boat that is sinking, kind of situation. So that was nice FYI. And then I think, I don't know if we referred to a body of light earlier on, where Aseru Cape now gives the body of light the physical form now. So body of light, okay, that's its own topic in a way, but just to sum it up a little bit, body of light denotes to the one consciousness that we have. And I like Lonama 2000, you guys have like terms for everything. I really love it. And when we delve into it, so there's something called the universal mind, or other people who are maybe into spiritual work, they say the what's this, the unified consciousness. And when you read a book called Black Root Science, that is where actually they start this thing, no, the one is the divine number where everything would be feeding from. So Geb allows that movement now from the cosmic sphere. Now everything is not tangible, and now it is now in the material sphere. I hope I covered everything. But yeah, that is the season, yeah, Geb. But also now touching on, sorry, Queen, before we go into the questions now, before we go there. So I mentioned ukuthi okay, ke principle ya mhlaba, ke lefatshe, uGeb, mhlaba, God of the earth and whatnot. This is now at the bottom. And when we look into the work that you're specifically doing now in the political series that you do, and a lot of people that come now on your platform, there's a lot of mention of the land, you know, what also happened there, kadi Kadesa negotiations, that whatever nonsense was sold then, that wasn't the mission. The mission was the land, and how we we consistently unaliving each other. It's not necessarily these minerals, not necessarily, but it is another form of us being unplugged, because for a lot of indigenous people, umhlaba is a spiritual entity to us. You know, when we're doing the libations as well, we're pouring into back to the earth, you know, and those who are like me, privileged in a dark way, which you're exposed to religion. There's where it says no, everything like Bati Umuntu was fashioned from the soil, and when you die, Bati, you're gonna go back to the soil, you know. And speaking of libation, so let's say maybe you've had offerings come right? And I'm seeing a lot of people, non-indigenous people also, who are going into our practices, and it's so sad that other people are mastering our practices but us, you know. But Australia is like, even when you go on a hike, you know, maybe get a spot to go to, okay, no, I'm gonna give my offerings here. So that you do those things. So the earth is not just you have a farm or for food security or us being able to feed ourselves, but it's a spiritual entity. It's a spiritual need that we need as a people. So that is why we're displaced in those ways. You know, that is why we're having conversations that were, oh my God, ngihlala a penthouse, a 16th floor. How do I, ooh, so was that? How do I pass? How do I do this? You know, or after you've done your offerings, the best practice that I do, instead of maybe if there's no case to give the sweets to, whatever it is, or the fruit, then now I bury it to return back to the land. So I'm giving back to the land. And also also another principle, another thing that you notice about that are born in the season. So there's also, besides being the god of the world, the god of the earth, or Rumhlaba, or they also call Geb the keeper of offerings. And there's also a ceremony. I think the ceremony, when you look into ancient texts, it's about offering. So with me personally, I'm a Gabe. I know I've thrived in situations where, like, I'm an offering keeper. You know, in whatever organization of movement or church, what that I've been in, I've always found myself a treasurer in a way. You know, where I'm finding, oh no, I'm good with whatever people are bringing here. You know, I'm good with accounting in that form, because my energy, my natural energy dictates to know I am a keeper of offerings. So that is why I thrive in such things, you know. So I think we have covered a lot on GIP, and we have about 15 minutes for questions. Yeah, but that is all we have for GIP. And yeah, I hope it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to go through the questions?
I don't know if there's any questions yet, but what I did pick up from you is that everything that was in the spirit world during the season of I Am King is now going to be in physical. And it's interesting, there's a
That's right.
comment there that was yes, from Itumeleng Riba, saying, I personally feel like this is the season of renewal. There is so much negativity being cleansed in my space to make way for new blessings or harvest. Wait, there's this other comment that came on that said something about, oh yes, it said to comment. It's the season of acting like we want. Oh, it's the season of acting like what we said we want. Uh, it's the season of acting like we want what we say we want. So,
Absolutely. So
right?
Yeah, so I don't know if it was there in the beginning, but when I was mentioning this full moon in Virgo that is happening, and I was like, I love it when our season change sort of aligns what is happening in the cosmos, you know, and it is literally calling upon that. Okay, ute userious, ute serious. This is what you want, you know. Is this something that is important to you, you know? And yes, it is. Like we spoke, it is no longer now serving you. It is no longer taking you forward. It is now inhibiting you from now progressing with the things that you're saying for, okay, this is what I'm carrying forward. It is a time to cleanse off that and start with a new energy. And what I noticed, yeah, because maybe I'm on these platforms or whatever it is, but a friend of mine sent me a reading about the month of February, you know, where it was denoting your now the ending of like these patterns and how I'm entering into a new cycle now. So there's an app called The Pattern. So yeah, that sort of also sort of helps me navigate. Oh, okay, that is why this is happening. So what is happening? And yeah, so but it has to do. It can also give you like a natal chart and whatnot. But yeah, we love to circulate the rent first. So if there's people who work with natal charts in the house, yeah, please assist. Uzandi's
So
also sad
do you
that
see
Ule is
Zandi's
leaving us.
comment there? I think we're gonna need therapy about Heru.
No, absolutely, absolutely. Surrendering to not knowing. Hmm. Your people, the spiritual blind, hey? Yeah, so Kenny Lee, I don't know if it's Basson or, yeah, I hope it's pronounced that way. It also feels like the surrendering to not knowing. Yeah, yeah. What's the food for the new season? Again, for me, my because it's the function. Um, like the food that helps us got the solar plexus, but now you need to incorporate helps us solar plexus, le sacral chakra ya rona, right? Because those are the the two of the three chakra points that ground us as a people. Bathi nebafana bafana iwinile indebe kamhlaba. Timing is everything, Lobokazi. Togoza, Nero, Togoza, Togoza.
How
Yeah.
are
Do
we
you
going
have
to?
any questions?
We're having a hard time letting go of Heru.
Yeah.
Itumeleng is asking that is there a simple wall calendar that outlines all this info? I have this book by Mkhulu Nsingisa, but it's a bit hard to grasp.
Okay. So, Itumeleng, you're not the first one. So I think where there was a gap missing, something that I was alerted to by Queen. I think she's here on the live as well. As that, yo, okay, Gogo, how do I use this book or whatever, right? So what I'm gonna do, like I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna have on my space, I'm gonna have where I go into umphahlwa khona, because it's like, okay, we have this information. What do I do with this information now? You know, so and I think the fallacy of reading it like a novel, because I think a lot of people expected to know I'm gonna read it like that, but it doesn't translate that. It's an action book. It's an action book, or it's an action some sort of way. So I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm just struggling with yeah with movie stuff of tomorrow or next week, but I'll definitely have an episode ukuthi okay, sizophahla kanjani, how do I actually put these principles in use? How do I work with the deity itself, you know? So in the beginning, I don't know if you're in the beginning, but you'll catch up when you go through the episode again. the things that align us with the season. So I think that could be your starting point. But I'll do how do we invite the energy now? How do we say goodbye to the old energy? And then how do we introduce this energy now in our sphere or in our space that we're working in, just to enhance that. So either tomorrow I'm recording, so either Friday or Tuesday when I'm back to the concentration camp. Yeah. And then Lerato Ore, is there anything special about this year gap season, seeing as it is a leap year this year? Lerato, I mean, I don't know in terms of that, in terms of leap years and what's spiritual significance. That'd be something interesting. My season, so yeah, whatever year is occurring in a leap year, a regular year, I'll definitely be thriving on that. But like I'm seeing, there's not a lot of shifts. What would determine like such movements, you would tell from the cosmos itself. But the full moon is behaving how the full moon is supposed to be behaving. And we mentioned Oroki full moon yako Virgo, and what does it call upon? The governing planet, that thing Mercury, or what does Mercury call upon? So I don't know. I don't know. So I don't know if anybody in the comments can answer as well. Okay, does leap year present anything new? You know, the only knowledge we have is from the west side. I can't remember what the leap year situation between, but yeah, something about love and something like that with leap years. And then there's Zandy again. You mentioned gifts, lava crying. Is that why we have floods and people struck by lightning? Oh my gosh, that's such a mind boom 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 boom. So with the crying, no, so this would be Gabe himself crying. So Unut would be now is Bagabaga in the sky. But because all these principles are so closely related, so that is why sometimes we have covered something, but it sounds like, hey man, didn't we speak about this thing here? You know, and if you go back to the creation story, you can literally trace, okay, how does this one link to this one? How does this one link to this one? So Unut, the lava, Gabe's lava, would be the one that contains the moisture, the flood, the rains, because angithi isibhakabhaka, the goddess in the sky there. But speaking on this one, when Azandi, there's a lot of opinions I have on this one, you know, especially regarding things that are not seen, you know, like let's take KZN for example as a province, you know. But I saw this year it wasn't just KZN where the madness of the floods were happening, but for me, how I rationalize that or speak from my spirit on that one is how you notice like in these areas a lot of blood was spilled, you know, a lot of blood is still continuously being spilled, you know. More Gauteng here we have the East Rand where there's just been like a whole lot of violence. So I just feel there's a whole lot of cleansing that needs to happen for the province itself, you know, because now Mkhubulwane tries acting by bringing the floods. Now the tides are high and everything, but until I think collectively as a people, okay, you know what, we are putting our weapons down. Abanye bashonile ngemikhonto ibheke phezulu. So I think like with that one, these floods, it's more of the blood that was spilled more, where I feel we need like a global cleanse, not global, a this cleanse as a people and come together, go to, you know what, we're not in fight mode anymore, and to go back to who we are as a people, where we revered life, man. We didn't just take a life on J now, you know. And with the age that we're moving into as well, it's gonna stop mattering. Hore, me, I can unalive a person for 40,000 rand or whatever it is, you know. And we're going into where with the series that Quinty is doing as well, where yes, high five on that work that you're doing, Queen, because I'm seeing a lot of royal houses also wanting to rise up to that occasion as well. You know, where now we're trying to put things back into place, you know. And yeah, we're not very fire starter, and yeah, people don't acknowledge you when coming to that. But yeah, there's a lot of things that you do start, and not a lot of people would acknowledge that. But there's a whole lot of movement in that form. Hore, we want restoration in whatever angle that we want to, and fortunately, the royal house, bestowing back of the royal house. And we spoke about Gabe, how Gabe now um, gives Batin bestow the birthright of these royal children, which is us in essence that were born, and now link it from the season that we're coming from, where we said no, Islalo Sobukhosi would need to be occupied now, but it's not just on a personal, it's not just on a collective scale, but also on a personal scale as well. So remember, us as a people, indigenous people a lot, we never do things in isolation. We never do things that just benefit me on my own. So yeah, Gogo, on that one, yeah, it's a controversial topic that maybe so on my platform. And then Upindi is asking, out of topic, is Nomkhubulwane nude? Okay, so Nomkhubulwane is not nude. Oh, the Lerato answered, Nomkhubulwane is Osset. But like I'm saying, so Osset, when we're looking back at the creation story, ne? So remember I said now, Ugep, Idlos, Lakdal, Idlos, and Kulu, Gep and Nut, and now the ones that birthed Asa, Osset, so Asa Oset, le Neptet Set, le Heru the Elder. So because of how nude also exists, it's not one and the same thing, but because Nomkhubulwane is the mother, Nude, sorry, is the mother to Nomkhubulwane, you can also find, I think it's Oset season, when we get into Oset season, Yarona, I'm gonna try simplify it as well, because like I'm saying, all these things in they go like this too much, where you don't know differentiation. But Newt is the one that happens in August, September, August, November. It was August, November, and then this is the goddess now, the goddess, the belly's full of stars. The goddess also now where the moisture is kept there. So the grandparents, yeah. So because Gably Nut are the parents. So the grandparents, no, the parents, Ushu, Litef, Nut would exist now on the body of Nut. The cosmic bodies, the stars would exist on the bodies of Nut. But I know with some work that people are doing, they purely focus on the goddess Nut. So also with these principles, like I always want to joke, I know the Americans, they say, yeah, when I'm working with this deity, so that is basically working out the principle and the function. How do I use this to elevate to the effect that I want, So the series that we are doing now, though, is just to help us to realign, because we have a tough job as gods where we need to exist in a system, but still try to find ourselves and our footing. Realign to who we are as a people. So this is the reason why we're doing the season. But you can call upon, let's say you're working in, like I said, now got the gift season, right? We can manifest things are manifest in the physical form. But because you're gonna be, if you are a spell maker in words, or a spell maker in writing, you can definitely call upon Uchehuti, even though it's not the season yet, Tehuti, but you can call upon, okay, Tehuti, help me, because you are the god of communication. So to increase those vibrations. So you don't have to work with these deities or these energy principles in isolation. You don't have to just do ritual mang mang on its own, and like how to the on my channel, how to the season, yeah, the mipasho, and how we invite the season. So you'd see there's different energy houses that would be mentioned, but we are solely focusing on gap. But why is this one mentioned here? But it denotes that whole thing that we spoke about, yeah, the creation story, where everything is interconnected. It does not work in isolation. The world of Gap, the world where Gap exists, could not exist if there's no world. The fire, the world, the water, the world, earth cannot exist. So they are interdependent, even though they have their own way of working as a phase of creation, or as a deity that is prevalent at this time. There we go. Mahlodi says they're intertwined. Yes, absolutely. So they never work in isolation. Yeah, just like this one is, I don't know if we're mature enough for this one, but let's say umuntu yakusukela, right? Us here, the ones that are looking for enlightenment, as tagatani angithi, as much as some people have as tagatani, but you literally you go come somewhere, call upon a maybe bita set or okay set or bita segment pass, even though I see season ya set or segment pass, goes okay, le muntu lona unsukele. So yeah, I'm just leaving it in your hands, kind of thing. But yeah, I hope that wasn't irresponsible to share, but but it is what it is. But yeah, let's take as Tagata as a people now, mele Tagaten Labayana, the ones that are displacing us from our land. And yeah, I think also in the season, the stable stuff that you could find as well. So look into maybe the contracts that you have, the financial plans that you have. So work on solidifying those ones. So if you made maybe you're delayed, you did not make your ascension thing solid. So now, like, I think just sit and work on the plan that's gonna be carrying you forward, because yeah, it's like I'm saying, Hori, this is the closing season now. Yeah, the physical, big umnandi, December bossy fitile and everything else. And now we're literally heading into now Rahabaneta, because remember, we're tracking the movement of the sun. And as much as UNEPTE provided us enough pumping of hydrogen and the sun to sustain us up until we see the new year, who gave way to now, with that now appearing in the physical, these are the things that we're going to be looking into. So go back to your business plans that you have made, go back to the building plans that you have made. Like I'm saying, the creators, especially creators with the hands, the artisans, go back, fortify that, strengthen that at this period in Nayake, because like I always say, the energy will always support that. Kollega Agep, Togoza. Seeing as Newt is Gabe's divine partner, we also invoke her in the season. Ooh, Gogi, that is yeah, I like Newt. I like Newt as a principal. But yes, you can absolutely invoke Newt there. But like I'm saying, she also operates, she has her own operation powers, if you have to say that. But yeah, you can invoke that. Like I'm saying, Hore, have fun, but responsible fun when you're working with these energies. I know personally there's a goddess who's doing work on Newt. So she's doing womb healing and yeah, all that work. The principal, yeah, Newt, the season. I think she started now the Heru season and is still carrying on with that one. Yeah. So yeah, if you're a person who flies with duality, yeah, maybe work with the dual aspects of it, because like I'm saying, Hore, we still trying to find our feet with, oh my God, I'm not a Pisces, I'm actually a Virgo. But like I always say, what you always look into characteristics of both. And when you see, like, with a lot of Virgo people, but more organized, but more, they want structure, they perfectionists. They want things to go in a certain way. So yeah, look into both aspects of things, I guess. But yeah, a free flow, Gogo. As long as it feels right, like I'm saying, Wuti, we don't gatekeep spirituality. What your energy is dictating at that time, flow with that one. As long as we are preserving life, we're not harming the next one. As loyani, as tagatani, is tagata by saying Wuti, we're doing spell work, we're manifesting, but. What a win for me should be a win for everybody else, kind of situation, if that makes sense. Yeah, so
Awesome.
I don't know.
Okay. So then we've got a date with you in a month's time,
In a month's time, yeah.
and
Intense
we'll
one.
tell you how this one goes.
Yes, yes, yeah. So yeah, those were still yeah, nobody shared how their Heru season was, but yeah, Quincy and I were very excited. Got our Heru season. It was yeah, it was divinity, man. Was absolutely amazing. Um So Itumeleng Riba says, I heard from some podcasts that it is important to eat only what each season produces, if it makes sense. If that is important factor while navigating the seasons. No, absolutely, absolutely. So the last
Yeah, you said
time,
this.
yeah, we touched on Uguti, um because like I'm saying, when we started, okay, Geb is the creator of the organic life. So be cognizant what you eat, like akuna orange ka season esinga orange. So the little things. And if you go to my channel as well, there's a live session I had le Kgosigadi le Fenze. So she touched on the food, because there's a lot of conversation regarding the food It's okay, but I don't have a garden, I don't have this. And she was saying, Hore, like flow with this, like with the series that we're doing now, we literally trying to flow with the natural energy. I can't have avocado throughout the year, you know. And we spoke about this as well. Yeah, Hore, no, your body performs better, your spirit performs better when you're eating things that are prevalent in that season, you know. But in Totabo, sorghum, I'm not too sure what season they exist in. But since as a people, I guess, re tlwaeditse gore re ja papa and whatnot. But yeah, go more brown if you are a pap consumer. But yeah, in terms of food, it's another, yeah, it's another portal that we need to actually look into. It's another thing that is very important in our spiritual journey, or yeah, whatever, whenever we're working in, yeah, cosmic sphere and trying to make a cosmic sphere into the physical sphere, trying to elevate. And yeah, so those fruits, but there's things selling the super fruits. And yeah, some of us didn't grow up body villaging, but there's somebody else worth more, they know gore, okay, no ka season so no ko dithabeng go na le fruit e itseng, ka this go na le something e itseng. So yeah, itumeleng, it's good advice where you heard there from that podcast. So whatever the season is producing, you roll with that. So that is why also when we start this season, we say, okay, these are the things that are agreeing with the energy, yeah, the season that we are currently in. But yeah, I think we're done, my queen.
Thank you,
Do you
Gogo.
have anything else?
No, I mean, I'm in the same space as Zandy, saying, can't we take Heru with us?
I say, look, ascension and remaining in that God state, you know, because also I forgot to mention in the mythology part of it, where now how Gep presents himself. So remember, Uheru, now it's happening now in that physical sphere, where now ascension to the throne is actually happening spiritually, and the work now is just on a
Mm,
physical realm. But now,
mm.
when you're going into ancient texts, okay, now because that is the manifestation in the physical, that is the exact same principle, but happening now in the physical sphere, where Abo Pharaoh of back in the day in ancient Kemet, they would say that I am sitting on the throne of Geb. So it's a
Okay.
carry man. Let's ascend. I know Heru season is quite delicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're still on the throne.
We still on the throne. We still remember
Okay.
this is realignment. This is, yeah, we literally just
Okay.
tracking movement of the sun. But Skariboni, like there's so much information in a, you know, we can spend 4 hours speaking about Cape. We can spend 4 hours speaking about, but these are just the little things. And like you said, Hore, the content gets too
Mhm.
much, especially if you're not immersed in it, where okay, you don't know how to so not all of
Yeah.
us rebo hotepi or bo gang or whatever it is. But yeah, I think we managed to sort of bring it on a more, you know, a understandable understandable
Thank
face.
you. Hey, and you're helping us a lot. Thank you, thank
No,
you, thank
thank
you.
you so much, my
And
queen.
people are saying thank you in the comment section.
No,
And
thank you so much.
have a lovely evening. And then people will join you for the longer extended of this session on your channel. All
Absolutely.
right,
Thank you
guys.
so
I'll
much,
put
my
all
queen.
the descriptions in the description box. Have a good evening, everyone.
Good
Night,
night.
night.
Dua heru, dua